And we're live. I was like, is it gonna work? Good morning, everyone. I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, messenger of God, child of God, the Lilith reincarnated on a Saturn day. Welcome. It's Saturn day. This will actually be my second message of the day. I started earlier in a rant and rave, and I was like, I blew the phone out. I kept getting all upset and the freaking losing connection. I was like, oh, we're in our shadows. We might as well do the shadow spread and confirm what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? Again, I made a whole video about this earlier, so now I'm like repeating myself. I got into an argument with my friend. And it was an argument where I don't want to be your friend no more. It's like conditional. And there's boundaries, there's lines that you cross that it's like, okay, you've crossed the line there, buddy. Hey, dude, I have the most comfortable chair, the biggest altar. See this, dude? I can put all of my pictures and all my shit. Wait till I get my altar bag. That's not my altar bag. There's all kinds of stuff up there, but it's not from my altar bag. Anyways, what happened this morning? He was like, I checked in with him, told him that I was here, and I was like, I was like, I'm the minority where I'm at, right? Something to that extent. And then he just kind of started going with the Venezuelans. And I went off at him. And I made a whole video to America about this whole situation. And it's just like, I needed to be heard. That's a shadow. There's a part of you that needs to be heard. And in the back of that card at the bottom, it says equality. Equality. So anyways, I started jumping on him. I was like, what have they done to you personally? Do you know any of them? Or you're just, you know what I mean? You don't have a dislike from what you've seen on TV, right? And that's not what happened. I'm going to upload that video. I just was like, you know, I'm going to upload the video. I don't know how choppy it is, so you can see what I really said and stuff. But the whole point of it was like, no and no. And at the end of it, it's like, you're hitting on my bloodline. You know what I mean? They haven't done anything to you. And so, though I'm fighting for a good cause, because that's what I always do, the shadow is like, you already knew these people are like that. And, you know, what's the shadow? I knew this was going to happen one day. So why did I wait till this day? How did I know it was going to happen? Part of me wants to say because he's a Trump supporter, because that's where it started, the conversation. It was like, my dad's one of these alienated fucking Trump supporters who is a nationalized citizen that now sits there and persecutes people of other color as if he was born on this land and he has some right to it. He tries to cast out people from the land, and I'm sure he's sitting there somewhere talking about this infestation of Venezuelans when he, in fact, is a Venezuelan. And I'm sure that there's somebody in this country of our family line that he hasn't invited into his house. And it's like, you know, the point is like, you know, there's, you know, that's the hate campaign. Once they're gone, you'll find someone else to pick on. Write that down, Holy Spirit. I heard the rhyme. And it's just like, it's a tolerance. It's like, how much tolerance, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, I knew this would happen. I'm going to be able to tolerate your ignorance for so long. And I'm seeing this situation with Mr. Plum. And at that moment, I called him ignorant, because I knew that was a hurtful word to the Southerners. It's like, you're just plain ignorant. In the sense of, they choose to believe you know, to follow the fucking herd. These people have done nothing to you. All you see is what they're advertising about these people on TV, and you fear them, and you dislike them, and you treat them like shit because of something you saw on TV, right? And that's kind of, you know, when I got into it with Mr. Plum, it was, of course, not about race. It was actually about religion. We got into it because, you know what I mean, we're having a conversation about his creepy neighbor across the street. You know, she's a nice lady, but she's creepy. And, you know, the whole conversation was like, she's not going, according to his belief system, she doesn't get to go to heaven. Who the fuck are you? And that's ignorant, bro. It's just ignorance. It's just ignorance, bro. She's done nothing to anybody. Because she doesn't pray the way that you pray, she doesn't get to meet our Lord? Does she not walk Christ-like? Did she not honor our Father? Does she not study that book? Does she not stay around Christian people? Does she not pray for people? Is she not that? But she didn't do it your way, so she don't get to see God? And that's what they told you, and you believe the shit they told you.
That's some math teacher stuff.
I was talking about Mr. Plum, so it's funny you said that. Because he's a retired educator. But in the sense of, it's like you can't believe everything that you're told, bro. You need to, try and test it yourself. And that doesn't mean go looking for bad things, but you know what I mean? I'm going to upload the video that I did. It was like 15 minutes of a rant and rave, and it's like, this came out, and it's like, these people are fucking ignorant, hateful. And you're like, as long as I ain't got to see it, I ain't got to deal with it. But you know who they really are. And you can put up a boundary, and they know not to act like that around you, but do you really want to be around people like that? And that's what I said. It's like, you know what I mean? You're banging on breakfast. You're banging on the Venezuelans. And you don't understand. So me and my kids last night, there's a huge foyer. So it's like it's a 7-story high. And you can come out your door and you can look down at all the stories. So I'm coming in last night from the store. And we're riding the elevator. And there's beautiful young children running through every hall. The children, the doors are wide open and the parents are looking out, and there's staff at the bottom and everything, and it's just beautiful. But it's terribly tragic. So there's 7, and that's what I told Millie. I was like, how many rooms are on each floor? She said 34.
Oh, really?
That's how many families. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Jimmy Dean does breakfast right. You want to show the camera? She got the Jimmy Dean biscuits and gravy.
And there's even a whole.
She likes how it opens. I was like, Jimmy Dean does breakfast right. I'm such an advertiser. Anyways, it's beautiful, bro. It's beautiful. It's all you can hear is laughter and happiness as I came into my new home. And I wake up this morning and this guy's talking about, they need to get the fuck out of our country, and where are they supposed to go, bro? Where do you want them to go? You see the TV. You don't see what I see, bro. Stop watching TV. They make you want to, They make you want to hate some shit when you watch TV. It's like, that's all it is. You've never even talked to one. And then when I got into it with him, he's like, I've gotten them work. I've picked them up at Home Depot. Bro, how does he know that they were Venezuelans that he picked up? And I was like, well, in essence, your president would say that you're contributing to the problem. And then I just, I binded him. And it's like, you can't play both sides, bro. And you're just playing games. Because, you know what I mean? That's just a conversation you want to have. You want to hate on all kinds of people. You know what I mean? But it's not, I'm a loving person, bro. I don't want to be around hateful ass shit. And so, yeah. And ultimately, is it his fault? Nah, bro. It's my fault.
I was trashing him.
Because I knew who he was. And I chose not to see all layers of him. That's a shadow. It's like, that they're dingy and dirty. But as long as they're not dingy and dirty around you, you can accept this part of them. And that is, dude. And why do I say that? I don't want to say his Republican ways. I'm saying his Trump mentality, bro. His Trump mentality, bro. And again, I respect our president, and I'm not, you know what I mean? Whatever. But it's a mentality that these people have. I'm not rising up against these people. We have to understand that they're just programmed from what they see on TV and what that's been put into them. In essence, we got to be careful calling them ignorant, because they think they're very fucking educated in their beliefs, and they will have that argument with you.
Most red states are the most uneducated states.
I'm just saying. It's absolutely frustrating. I knew he had a dislike. It's like, but the dislike, I can respect your dislike, but you're disliking a whole race, which this isn't a dislike now, you're a racist. But does it end with this person? Nope. I have no business being friends with people like that. But it doesn't mean that I won't that I can't be friends with people like that. What's our shadow today? Oh, the Black Madonna. I questioned myself right before I did this. I was like, why did you put the ladies up? It's like I need the feminine energy. So the ladies is myself. Mother Cabrini is that to the right. That's my mother. And you know the lady to the left.
No.
You don't know her?
No.
Marilyn? That wasn't her real name.
She's a place in the place, but
It was, I think it was Thelma or some shit. Can't remember. Okay. Anyways, that's pretty much the only feminine energy that I usually roll with. But Mother Mary is definitely came in, and we had some talks. She would have been, I made a video yesterday about the witch hunt. She would have been considered the first witch, bro. Not really. In Christianity, yes. Go back to it. The Holy Spirit, a vision, came to this woman and gave her a plan on her life. A spirit. And she was impregnated by a spirit. And she followed that spirit. And she had a loyal husband that didn't speak to the spirit, but followed her as she followed the spirit. And gave birth to the Savior. She was randomly selected. Did she know since the day she was born? I wonder how old she was. Now I'm curious. How old were you? How old were you when God said you were? Okay, let's see. Think about this. We could probably do some math here, because he was 40. She had already had him for 40 years, but she didn't die. She's probably a young mother. Wow, just like the rest of us. Interesting. And that's what we talk about. You know, that's what it is. It's a beautiful story, but it's totally doused in lies, and you know what I mean, all this shit. They said that she was the perfect woman, but she was just a woman like any other woman. You know what I mean? That was it. Chosen to raise a child of God with no special training or help. Nothing. Just knowing that this child had a huge destiny and that she was chosen to be you know what I mean, the carrier. There wasn't many, you know, females known other than myself in history where it was passed on. Not really. And that's because they didn't want you to know, because the women that were chosen had the powers of Christ and more. That's why they distorted these stories, bro. They wanted it to be that men were all powerful. Man was all powerful. Way to go, Adam. You and your stupid Eve. She believes that shit. And you wonder why I came along and tried to empower Eve, only for her to disempower herself by being suburban and giving this to her man. She wasn't a bad woman to give it to her man, but what her man used that power for was to control her and others. And that's not what it was for. It was never for her to control him. It was just to liberate her. And that's why I wasn't destroyed by God. Because I did it, you know, with good faith. All of us that tried to help, man, you know, we went against God to try to help you. Right? But understand that we were just trying to help you. Alright, going back to it. The primordial dark mother goddess is a powerful archetype that has been venerated in ancient cultures throughout the world. For example, Isis, myself, Kali, myself, Hecate, myself, Lilith, myself, and the Black Madonna. When the Black Madonna shows up, it's time to surrender. And that's it. Are you gonna, you know what I mean? God came to her. God came to all of us. We didn't have, I mean, do you really think you have a choice? When God speaks to you, when he's yelling at you and he's showing you that he wants this for you, you do, in essence. You have your free will, but you're not really. You're just running around in circles. Your destiny's calling to you, King Arthur. You're chosen from birth. You don't know it. But he waits until you're ready and ripe. So you're wise and you're ready to fulfill this role. But when God, you know, when the Holy Spirit came to her, she couldn't say, no, I'll pick someone else. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. You know what I mean? That's kind of where we all are. Going back to the disciples, going back to, you know what I mean, Moses, Joseph. Ooh, St. Patrick. St. Patrick's Day is today. It came to him in a dream, in a vision. And he had to go to his people and you have to go to the people and tell them that God has come to you with a calling in your life. And I must go and save his people.
What does St. Patrick even do?
I'm hearing Billy Graham. That's his in that song. That's what he says. It's like you don't really not you can't deny God and the angels and when they come to you and call upon you. You can. I'm the only one that did. Ew. And he said he sent his angels and I refused. He never stopped calling. I'm never gonna leave you alone. It's time to surrender. The Dark Mother of Creation is always working for your highest good, even though it may not feel like it at times. The key is to take a deep breath, release, and allow everything to fall away that isn't in alignment. The Black Madonna is showing you that chaos is just another form of divine creation in the universe and an indicator that new beginnings are taking shape. And that's what I stand for, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you. I'm the primordial goddess of chaos. I was his first creation of the divine feminine. We were created out of chaos. Like, why do bitches act so crazy? We're created out of chaos, bro. But that same chaos is inside of your feelings too when you open up to them. You act chaotic in those feelings. And that's what they say. Women are, because women are emotional, they're unstable. You're unstable because you deny your emotions, and that's what makes you mentally ill. And that's what it is. It's like, they say that our greatest power is our greatest weakness. Our ability to feel makes us weak. Well, I show you I can feel everything, and that makes me more powerful than any of you. You know what I mean? To feel the pains and the suffering in the world gives you compassion and understanding. So anyways, going back to this, it's like, we teach you, and that's going back to Isis, Hecate, Lilith, especially Kalima. We teach you that in this craziness is God, in this darkness, all of the dark goddesses, and most of them are me. Where are we at, girlies? That's what we teach you. We teach you the hard lessons that you're not learning through God. We teach you with a nurturing understanding. There's me. There's me. What do I teach you? Inspiration, destruction, persuasion, creation, control, coercion, abuse, deception, curiosity. These are all things that lie in the dark. This is chaos. These are the feelings of chaos. We take you through the chaos of curiosity, through purification. We work with you through your revenge, deliverance, through the storms, your feeling of respite, all of the temptations that come upon you, fate, how it may be this way, it's just made to be. Teach you about your desperations and your envy, your seductions and your abandonment, how it transforms you into trust, watching out for the trickery, keeping your defenses low and up, and the endurance. Kobe Bryant, we teach you how to keep going through the loss. They protect you. Teach, you know what I mean, how to surrender. Compliance, bro. I may have not done it then, but by this time I did. Whatever you say, God. And now here I am, here, compliant. Whatever you say, God. I'm still me. Right? Teach you about, your appearance and what it really means when people see you as however they want to see you. They see you how they want to. That's not how you see you. Teach you about resurrection, your obsessions, your wrath, your denial, your concealment, walking in integrity, finding your empowerment, prosperity, and what it really means to walk through the drama and determination, the secrecy and judgment of life, your guilt, atonement, health, knowledge, hubris, sovereignty, and redemption. The goddess teaches you that. You go to your gods, which is your temples. God's teaching you these things, but when you go to your religious factors and your family and your friends and your associates and you try to talk about these type of things, endurance, fate, respite, envy, wrath, any of that, they're going to, you know what I mean? These are the shadow parts. The parts of you that really exist that nobody wants to talk about. But the goddess wants to. Your mother wants to. Let's talk about your feelings. Let's talk about all that's going on inside of you. You're full of feelings that we need to talk about. The truth is God's been trying to talk to you about it for a long time. But you haven't been listening. So now we need to open your heart. You needed another voice. I'm not apart from him. And that's what it is. It's a relationship. He's my God, and you know what I mean? And he asked me to, evil stepmother his children. Not evil stepmother his children. But in the sense of what is the goddess? A form of God, and the feminine form of God that lies within you. Men that, that melt to puppies and children and cars and stuff, that childlike essence in them, that's their feelings, that's their goddess inside of them. You know what I mean? That protect and provide and create. That's their God. You have to understand that the femininity and how much it exists in you. You know what I mean? When you're going through your shit and you're trying to stay calm, that's your feminine is trying to nurture you through this. It's trying to love you through this. When you're sitting there and being weak and you're like, all right, don't be a bitch. You need to get up. You need to be strong. That's your God. Understanding this trinity inside of you, and that you inside of this is the child. There's a whole family inside of there. You, the star child, you, the God, you, the goddess. It's all in there. We got to open this whole trinity. All right, it's showing you that chaos is just another form of divine creation in the universe and an indicator that new beginnings are taking shape. And that's what I'm here to show you. You show me your devil and I show you it's God. You believe that there is bad out to get you, and I'm showing you this is God trying to push you. In this chaos and destruction, you feel like you have no control and life is against you and God is taking your burden bush. Yeah, for sure. I want to point something out. Look at this picture. It's the Tower card right there. I have my quantum tarot has the same thing. It's a tower just like looking dark and scary. Isn't that crazy? Towers are falling, bro. Reality is coming crashing down. And that is because God has come for you. And all. And that's really it. That's what I'm trying to show you. In the chaos, the Black Madonna is showing you that in the chaos is just another form of divine creation of the universe, an indicator that new beginnings are taking shape. Feelings of doubt and impatience can come up. You also may receive healing support from divine feminine or maternal figures in the form of financial, personal, or life guidance. Therefore, my females. I didn't know before I pulled the card. I knew that, I'm just guided. Accept the help you need from them. It's a gift to help you on your journey. Well, I claim that in the name of Christ. If there is a female that wants to help me financially, professionally, or in life guidance, I accept that. Black Madonna is a controversial artistic depiction of the Virgin Mary. Her origins are theorized to be from African origins, perhaps based on the pagan Dark Earth Mother deities. Racism rules the church narrative. European clergy would whitewash her image with paint and explain that candle soot or age caused the skin to turn dark. I ain't mad at you, is what I heard. They want their God to look like them. You want your God to be like you. You don't want to be different from your God. And that's what it is that's not our God. He doesn't even look like us. So God provided everyone with their own God. Right? Meaning, there's a lot of things to say like that. It's like we can't honor a God that's not even of our skin. This is primordial, bro. So that's why God gave so much of himself in so many different layers. But you guys limited God into one. I don't understand that. You put him in a form. Jesus is God, but Jesus told you about God. What are you talking about? Allah is God, but God gave what? And if you don't pray to this God, then you don't know God. But each of the gods from all religions and all time tell you about the Godhead, as some of them say. You know what I mean? Go back to Hindu and Buddhism. There's a God for everything. Going back to paganisms, going back to Egyptians, going back to, oh my gosh, the Greeks. And you know what I mean? Oh my gosh, there was a God for everything. And they all worked for a higher God. But yet you say this is the only God. Jesus told you. And again, he went out for all people, not just Jewish people. It was the joke. Come on, dude. Do I really gotta tell you some stupid shit like this? This is old ass shit. So don't be so surprised. They had to change her to make her fitting. Like they're trying to do to every woman, bro. You can't bring that woman in like this. You have to dress her up like one of ours. They'll never accept her. It's the truth, bro. It didn't matter, bro. And that's me. And I told that to Russ in the beginning. You fucking with me would ruin your entire career. It's the truth. You can't bring this girl in. And that goes back to Allie. Religiously, they'd kill us. You can't love me. Because of my skin color, because of where I was born, because of the gods that I believe in, because of how I practice, because of what I eat. What? I'm not allowed to, he's not allowed to love me for the way that I am, but it's the ways that I am that makes him love me. I mean, he never saw me eat pork, but he knows I eat. In the sense of, it's like the very things you tell him are evil about me are the very things he loves. And he's not allowed to. He's limited because we are not allowed. But here I am. And I'm not worthy of his love. I wouldn't love him well. I wouldn't be a good woman to him. I wouldn't give him children, and we wouldn't live righteously by God. Sad, right? Societal norms, bro. And that's what's standing in front of you, what you saw, what's been put inside of you. But how do you really feel, Allie? Doesn't matter. That goes back to fucking all of them. It doesn't matter how you feel. Because what would people say? Welcome to persecution. Get ready to wear it. It doesn't feel good. But people have wore it are outside of us, all around us forever. People like Lewis, black people, Mexican people, these people, those people. Everybody's persecuted for just being them. For just being them. The way they talk, the way they look, the way they dress, the color of their fucking skin. You don't really have a reason to not like me. They told you not to like me. And so you don't. But deep down in your heart, you really do. You're not afraid of me. You're afraid that you'll lose them because you like me. At what point are you going to realize that they don't like anyone? And they're worth losing. I'm not. Because there's no one like me. Just going back to it, you know what I mean? It's like Jesus wasn't white, bro. People were white on that side of the fucking planet. Nobody wants to hear that. You don't want to believe that you prayed to a black God, that you're praying to a black God. So they put an image in your head and said he was white, and you believed it. But you know it's impossible. Going back to the aliens. You can see them with your own eyes, bro. But they tell you it's not real, so you don't believe it. Holy shit, guys. In the sense of, I'd like to say think for yourself, but that's what's got you fucked up. Is thinking, just the thinking process. Let me think about this. Let me pull information from my brain that has already seen some shit. You're a Google search, dude, and you choose which one is real and which one isn't. But there's over 5 million fucking options here. And you lock onto one, and that's it. This is the number one truth. Or the number one lie. Just going back to it. I'm just saying, you know, and that's it. It's like, if I tell you she's black, now you hate her. Or you hate me because she doesn't look like you. What a stupid thing to say or do. Like, seriously. There will be people that'll walk away from me because I said she couldn't possibly still be Mother Mary in black skin. She couldn't have been chosen in black skin. Why do you guys think that the blacks are less? When really, they're more. The white skin was the persecuting, not the black. Blacks never persecuted. It's the whites, bro. It's the white supremacy. It's always been that way, bro. Anyways, going back to it, it's like, would you not, if you found out that Jesus was black, would you not believe in Jesus anymore just because you don't like black people? Or could you finally have some compassion for black people knowing that that the most kindest person in the world was black? Believe whatever you want. Asians can't believe it at all, so they had to get a whole new one named Buddha. But do you believe Buddha was anything less than Christ-like?
We don't talk about breeding.
You can't honor Buddha because he wasn't on our side of the world, but he spoke the same beautiful words. Why wouldn't you honor people of different color and different races just because of the character? Why does it have to be that way? Because before there was nothing that stopped that, you know what I mean? You could sail the lands and you could go to the lands. Now, and that's what Ray was screaming at me. He's like, no other country in the world allows illegal immigrants in. Yeah, and you know what I hit him with? I was like, yeah, but this was the land of the free and the home of the brave, and we were glad to have you. Was how we started this country. But not no mores. Meet Tunisia. The controversy over Black Madonna is another example of how religious patriarchy has demonized dark feminine dark feminine figures. They place value and importance on the immaculate conception, which is all fucking witchcraft, bro. You don't understand. She laid with a spirit. We had this whole talk over the summer. Virginity and women's role to remain pure and submissive. How do you think her husband felt about that? He had to believe it was a spirit and not a man that knocked her up. He had to believe what she was saying. And in essence, if he thought like you guys did, he'd be like, oh, now I got a stretched out vagina. Did he touch her while she was pregnant? Did he touch her before she was pregnant? None of you asked those questions, bro. Did they not have feelings? God turned off their whole sexual vibe when he put a baby inside of her? I'm just saying, dude, you guys put too much on this bullshit. The Virgin Mary was a package to represent submission and obedience. To who? God. Not man. God. Her man had no power in that relationship but to support what was happening. He was not needed. His job was to provide and protect her and the unborn child. Not even his own. To raise it as his own. He had no power in this relationship. Other than that was chosen, that he got to be part of this family. Where is this, submission and obedience? To him or to God? As I stand here, Lilith, you have no power. God's given you the power to be in my life, to be a protector and a provider, and to love me as I save his children and I provide, you know what I mean? Did he call you to do such things? No, you don't have the capability to do such things. So I need you to stand strong with me as I do such things. Now it's your time to submit and be obedient to my God. As we did for years. We submitted to you and we were obedient to you because of the Lord in that book. While the feminine strength and, while the Black Madonna depiction is linked with dark feminine strength and power, scholars have argued that the church denial that the Virgin Mary is indeed black was the religious patriarchy way of painting the dark mother of creation in a suburban and pure light. The universe is here to heal and protect you. Surrender and know it's working for your highest good. Absolute confirmation. I started this fucking whole thing with a fight about racism. And it came up in Mother Mary. The first card. Meaning what? I'm manipulating the cards, or God's fucking teaching us a lesson through me, through my experiences with people, like He always does. You're going to go to war against this. You're going to, again, leave that's no longer serving you. This is not, and He said it Monday, this is not your friend anymore. And then when this is all done, you'll go back and be like, was they ever my friend? Or was I just leeching on to people that were being nice? And that's usually where I have to pick myself up out of the ground. Somebody was nice to you and you made them your friend. You're friends with everyone. And that's where it's difficult. Jesus didn't have friends. He was meant to be kind and have colleagues and stuff, but they weren't, He was still set apart. Noah was set apart. Joseph was set apart. Isis set apart. We're all set apart. And that's what He said. There's going to be people there, but they're not going to be able to help you. In a sense, He did help me, but saying that He was my friend is too far. And that's what I'm learning, what a real friend is. Muhammad Ali's in my face. I called Tree my friend. He's my friend. He's my friend. When it was all said and done, I was like, was he my friend? Or why did I call him my friend? What made him my friend? I made him my friend, but he wasn't friendly. And that's where it is we give these people these titles and these powers and these positions in our lives, not realizing they were never worthy of that position, that we just gave it away, our power. In the sense of, you were hanging out with an ignorant Trump supporter and all of this shit. Yeah, but he was kind to me, and that's all that mattered, until I realized he's not kind to other people, and then I had to stop hanging out with him. And that's kind of like, you know what I mean? Why was I friends with the fucking, the other people? Because they were kind to me. Kindness is my weakness. Shadow. 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 And then you're like, well, you jump to extremes. I'm never a friend, or I don't need no friends. And that's where it is. We've been struggling with this. Friendships. Relationships. Communication, of course. Venus and Mercury is where we're at. The retrograde happened today. I'm just quiet. It's because it's like, what I hear is like, we don't know how to relate. We can relate only so far, but in doing so, we end up losing ourselves. There's a thin line, bro. And I overcross it a lot, and I'm still trying to find it. And what? I can't say relationships. I mean, yeah. I don't have any. It doesn't mean that I don't try. Maybe I try too hard. Or it's just, it's a growing curve. Because right now I'm realizing, like, the biggest thing I'm realizing is, what people are a certain way, but you're willing to accept that way just to have a friend. And it's not like I'm not accepting or compassionate or forgiving. It's like I can do that. That's what I'm showing you. I can be all forgiving and accepting. It's like you like a person. That person's a piece of shit. Yeah. Can I argue? I will. No, they're a good person. To me. But not to themselves and not to others. And that goes back to, you know what I mean? Like, is Russ really a good person? Only to his own people. He's a jerk. He's a manipulator. He's a thief. He's a conniver to everybody else but his family and friends. Who's Marshall to everybody else? He's a jerk. They're all assholes. They're terrible people to anybody outside of themselves. They don't want you to take their picture. They don't want you to mention their fucking name. They don't want your fucking opinion. They don't want anything but your money. They're fucking terrible people, bro. And I try to put them in a light. instead of just leaving them in the dark is what they really are. And that's what happens weekly, is God shows us their dark sides, and I put them back in the light. Because that's, what I've been trained to do. But in doing that, we're not being aware of the darkness that we're dealing with. I can keep making excuses. They're not excuses. It's rational, realistic, logical explanations to what the fuck is wrong with Kanye West. But at one day, what are we going to realize? That he is a fucking terrible person. I can keep showing you him through Christ's eyes, but that's not who he is. I can show you the goodness in these people and why they're acting bad, but you must understand that their actions are going to continue. Just because I can show you there's something good in them and that God created goodness in them doesn't mean they're walking through that goodness. You have to avoid you know what I mean? You have to see goodness, and that was the fight with Russ. I couldn't see any goodness in him. I see it now. There is a good person underneath all of that shit, but he's that shit. That's who he is. That good person isn't alive. But at the same time, we never deny that it's in there somewhere. Now, going back to the Venezuelans, they're not bad people. They're not hating Americans or blacks or anybody. They're not bad people. They don't hate or hurt. And there might be a few, but ultimately a no. The majority I see, no. No and no. But as far as you guys, you wake up with the intentions to hate and steal and kill and cheat and lie, envy and lust and greed and covet, gluttony and fucking, you know what I mean? Adultery and all of those things. I'm the dark goddess, dude. I'm telling you that these are real ass things that are happening inside of you. And I teach you that this is real. But how to overcome it, not to give into it, and not to persecute those that do. Because it lives within you too. And what is your operating system? Are you operating out of your shadows like these people? Or are you healing your shadows? I'm never going to say you're operating out of love and light. You're a fucking piece of shit. You get out of my face. You're a false light. You have far too much work to do, and that's all you're supposed to be doing. You're either operating out of your shadows or you're healing them. Though we walk through the valleys of the shadows of death. That doesn't kill you, will make you stronger. But if you're just operating out of your shadows, yeah, it's going to kill your body. It's going to kill your mind. It's going to kill your finances. It's going to kill your emotions. Walking in sin is going to kill you. Feeding the flesh everything it wants and having no fucking, you know what I mean, no authority over your life, no ability to say no to the people around you, no self-control is going to kill you. I'm not telling you that you can't give in to the things of this world and that you're not supposed to take pleasure in the things of this world, because it was provided for you and you have such desires. But finding healthy ways to explore those desires is the best way. There's times to be a gluttonous bitch. We do that shit on Thanksgiving and shit. You know what I mean? We chow down. But we don't fucking chow down every time, you know what I mean, we're having an emotional breakdown. But at the same time, God gave us all of these great things to feed our body and nourish our body, and we don't deny it because we want to fit in a size 2 this weekend. We don't deny our bodies the good things that they need. We don't deny our feelings, our desires, our wants, and our needs. But we also have self-control, and we give it to ourselves, as a child and a parent, you know what I mean, with limitations and in moderations. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you can't go have a sleepover. I'm just saying, can how are you going to act on this sleepover? And it's a damn shame that you got to be 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and you don't have that conversation being had where you're just sleeping over at everybody's house and you know that you're breaking your own, promise to whoever that you weren't going to have those kind of sleepovers. It's a good one, God. He keeps them kind of G-rated, but we can go X-rated all day. The shadows are the parts of us that we deny and we persecute when we see in other people. So as much as I hate Racist? I'm very racist towards the racism. If you're a racist, I hate you. That makes me racist. I'm matching that energy. In essence, I probably hate a lot more white supremacy type people, which are my own people, than any other culture. But that means I hate an entire culture of people. It's not limited to colors and nothing. Like I said, my dad, he's racist, and I hate him. But that makes me racist, because I hate all types of people like you. I'm going to put all of you together and put you on a fucking island and burn you. Do you feel that? That's a whole race of people you just want to eliminate off this planet. They're God's people, bro. Like, we can't kill them with their own weapons. Like, I can't hate them like they hate everyone else. No, you're becoming them. Okay, this isn't working. In the sense of, you know what I mean? The shadow. I hate racist people. Okay, but I'm racist towards racist people and prejudiced people and all kinds of people. There's groups of you people I can't fucking stand. So in essence, I'm a racist. I grab a whole race of you and I can't stand you. And I want to destroy you. And I wish God never made you. See how there's a part of you that lives. And when you see it in other people, you take it out on other people, but you forget that that lives inside of you. Self-awareness. Self-awareness. So he might hate Venezuelans, but I hate white supremacists. While Kanye's over there trying to wear the KKK shit. Okay. Talk about totally confused. So what are we talking about today? Obviously, we're talking about our prejudice and our prejudice towards people and classes of people. That was pretty good, huh? That wasn't too hard to dig into. No, because now once we've pulled the fucking skin back, it's really going to hurt. Because now we know what our trigger is. So do you know what's going to happen? We're going to see it everywhere. Here comes the endurance. Here comes the healing. Knowing you have a problem is just part of the problem. Next comes the temptation. You have to overcome this problem. How are you going to overcome it? You're going to be tempted to give into it. Guess what I'm going to be attracting all day? White supremacist assholes. You're like, what are white supremacists? Not like the actual gang of these people. These are people with a mindset, a supremacy mindset, that they think they're better than others. That could be, let me think off the top of my head. Marshall Mathers, he thinks he's better than everybody else. That could be Russ, he thinks he's better than everybody else. Logic, best rapper in the world. You know, they think they're better than people. Supremacy. I just happened to point out the white guys. But there's plenty of, you know, there's Kendrick, who's a whole supremacist, that thinks he's the best black guy ever, and he does black like nobody else, and he's the best of black, and he's hating on a Canadian black guy because he's not an American black guy, and because he likes younger girls, better rapper. All you had on him is he liked younger girls. I'm seeing Matthew McConaughey. He's all you know what the good thing about high school. You hate them because they have a preference, and that makes you better because you prefer what? The one girl you've ever had forever and ever? You and your bunk-ass girl? Could you get another girl? You wouldn't even know how to treat another girl. You better hope that girl don't never, ever, ever leave your bitch ass. Kendrick Lamar. Oh, I can't stand that guy. Why? It's a supremacy thing. And that's where I am. What's going on with fucking Wolfman? I told him, you're in a stage that I go through with people. Let's talk about this stage. It's egotism. It's supremacy. You get to a place of you're so fucking knowing and you're better than fucking people. And I'm going to tear you apart and show you that you're fucking nothing. That's my own shadow. I need to work on that. What do you need to work on? It's Saturday. They pushed me to my limits. I was like, he is pushing me. I can't stand his fucking skin. I can't stand his fucking face. What is he doing? What is he doing to you? What was Russ doing? They're coming out here pretending like they fucking know it all and that they're better than somebody. And they don't know shit and they ain't shit. And I'm going to show everyone that they don't know shit and they ain't shit. Why do I need to do that? What a waste of my space. I do that a lot. Especially with the tarot readers. They ain't shit. You ain't shit. What did I say to Marshall? You an ain't saying shit bitch. Alright, God. Thanks for making me aware. Now, how long is it going to take me to stop doing this? I don't know. I probably did it all my lifetimes. I know I did it all this lifetime. All this lifetime, I have no problem putting you in your place and telling you you're an ain't shit bitch. I'm really good at that. Am I supposed to stop? Or are we just becoming aware and trying to harness what we are? And that's really it. That's what I told him. You ain't shit. This is literally what I told him today. I was like, our president would kick you out of the country if he knew you weren't paying taxes, just sitting around not helping our government, not contributing anything, draining our healthcare system. So you ain't shit. I'm really good at that. But that's my trigger, and I'm very aware of it. People that try to put themselves above other people are a trigger to me. And I lash out hard. Hard. Now, again, that's how God created me, as Callie, as Bridge. You know what I mean? Mama Bridge. It's like, you're going to fuck with my people? Where'd I get that from? God. You don't fuck with my people. No, going back to you guys. And there's your loyalty in your DNA. Now let's look at who your people are that you're defending. You're defending rappers like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent. And then you got us, who's defending his mother and her children and father. Like, you guys are fighting for these people, but you're fighting, you know what I mean, for what? Who are the people you're fighting for? And are they worth fighting for? I'm fighting for all of the fucking Venezuelans right now that never had a voice and don't even, you know what I mean, that can't fight for them. Who's fighting for these people? And I'm fighting my own people for these people. I'm not sitting out there like that. I saw that Elizabeth lady. Elon Musk, something. She was shaking in her words. I was like, dude, take the mic from her. She is too in her feelings. Calm down. Put it into words, not into feelings. Anyways, what is it? Her fear? They need to get rid of this guy. What is Elon Musk doing to you personally? Oh, all your friends are losing their jobs because he said that they're not, they're wasting government money. I think he's going to get to you next. And that's it. It's like, how many of you are wasting government money? How many are you a waste of government space or American space and time? Talking about Elon Musk, who owns space and time. You know what I mean? Like, realistically, and that's it. It's like, truthfully, what did they do to you? No, they haven't hurt you personally. So you're fighting people that haven't bothered you. Who are they bothering? Right? Who are they bothering? Going back to, Elon Musk and President Trump are not trying to make this country great. Who are they affecting? The American people. This was their 4-year plan. You're going to stop their plan? I'd like to see this. Their plan was to get rid of all this dead weight. And now you're mad that you realize that you're considered dead weight to the American dream? I think it's funny. I think it's kind of funny. In the sense of, he's not, he wouldn't, I'm not, like, going back to me and my position in this world, is he trying to get rid of people like me?
Yeah. You're a woman.
Is he actually doing anything to me? Then why do I care? Am I going to run around saying he's just out to get all women?
He said he dated his own daughter.
Not all women. He dated his own daughter. And yeah, you're talking shit about fucking Jake. Anyways, let's keep going. It's only going to come up worse. This is getting worse. I really don't think we need to go any further, to be honest. I think we know what our problem is, and we need to deal with that problem. But we'll get a couple more cards to confirm that we got problems. What's our problem today? Ew, the beast of corruption. Yep, there's our problem. 23. Get in there. Oh, it's funny, isn't it? It's not, bro. We have problems. We were built like this. We need to rebuild ourselves. We need to rebuild. Make America great again. I love these jokes. Life is a joke, dude. It's a divine comedy, bro. Calm down. It's fucking hilarious. Why is it divine? Because they're the ones doing it? Alright, Dante is appalled to meet Simonists, several of whom are... Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. God is on this. Oh, God, bro. Fuck. I mean, we've been talking about it. Alright. The Simonists, several of whom are popes who use their religious office for personal gain. He rebukes them, comparing them to the seven-headed beast of the apocalypse. Oh, shit, bro. I told you, the religious factors. I told you, bro. They have no power. On page 33, 23, 33 from the Ascending... Oh, shit. This is coming from the Most High, bro. Divination. Power corrupts. The seven-headed monster from the Book of Revelations is a symbol of debasement of the rules of the earth that precedes Armageddon. We must be vigilant about the effects of authority and the influence can have upon us and any group we are part of. Listen. Be vigilant about the effects that authority and influence, the news, the media, wherever you're getting it, the authority and influence, whoever you think is your authority and how they're influencing, the influence can have upon us and any group that we're part of. It begins with small indulgence. Those in position of leadership take advantage of their clout to have their way. If not checked, they may have used their privilege to serve their own end. In whatever situation you find yourself, consider whether the larger goal or the greater good are being served. If not, attempt to restore things to right, serving your true mandate. You've squandered your power, fellas. I've told you this for a long time, but there's all of those. And then going back to it, I just told you the churches. God's coming for them, dude. The Book of Revelations, they come for them first, bro. And the card above this that I pulled just last week was talking about the astrologers. We pulled the tooth slayers, the fake magicians, astrologers, and card readers.
Mom.
And now we're pulling the popes and the teachers.
How do you plug the bathtub?
Oh, you're going to have to use the thing that I use. It's on the other side. Give me a minute, please. Again, this is what I'm here for. I stand for equality. I'm here to put the balance back. But in order to balance it, we have to take them down. What is our only offense? The power of the word. They use those words to persecute people. We're going to use those words to liberate people, guys. That's what God said. That's what Jesus' words were meant to do. They've manipulated and turned Jesus' words against cultures and belief systems. They changed the story. This generation, nah, bro. It's passed down. And it's passed down, and it's passed down. That's why I said, in order to be a priest, you're going to have about 8 to 12 years of doctrine, and you got to follow their protocol. The power given to me by God, they can't stop. And that's why they said women didn't have the power, because they didn't have the power. I said this the other day. Can the Pope heal you? Does he have the power to see what you're suffering from? Does he know your deepest, darkest desires? Can he see your heart? Last I checked, he's dying. Or maybe recovering. Pope Francis something, he was on the internet and shit. Who's taking his life? God. His life hasn't, you know what I mean? His life is, is here to serve his people, but he's served nothing than himself. He sits there in a big fat dress, wearing the best jewels, being fed. That's not what it meant to be a follower of Christ. We're a servant to his people. That's what the prophets were. Do you remember Paul? A servant to my God. They totally distorted this. And yet you got people in their massive, Joel Osteen, fucking, what's her fucking face? All of them, bro. We got all these fucking, massive super churches out there that use it for their own power and their own gain to say that they have any power by doing nothing more than teaching you the power of Christ. And they're supposed to teach you how to use it and empower your life, but they're using it to disempower you and tell you you're not worthy because you think this way and you feel this way and you don't pray their way. God's coming from them first. It's already said. They are the first wave. They go to those of the temples first. They are the first to be persecuted. And it's passed on generations and generations and generations. Their whole generations. If you want to talk about cursed generations, that's them. Going back to you, Nate, your dad is going to burn in hell, bro. In the hell of this earth. He's going to watch everything he believed, everything he feared become his reality. Because he used those fears to fucking subjugate you and other people. Their fears is what he used to fucking force them into submission. Yeah, I know about your father, Nate. Christian rapper, NF. Yep. But he rebelled as much as he could. Do you ever wonder why, you know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of people were persecuted and abused and neglected and kicked out, abandoned, because in the name of Jesus. I'm just quiet because it happens all the time. They say they can get away with such things because God forgives them. God gave them the power to do such things. Bro, you're gross. But yeah, they're coming for him, Nate. They're coming for those type of peoples for sure. They're the first wave of people. And that's where I come out with these, the fake spiritualists. I'm getting the other ones. We're getting them, bro. Who's judging them? Jesus, bro. Jesus is judging them. That's what they said. Didn't he tell you the end times? He just didn't tell you he was the one that was going to be facing the damnation in the fire? Because of his wicked heart? No, he told you you had a wicked heart. And that your thoughts and your actions were ungodly. And that you would never see the kingdom of God the way you live your life. But he shall have all glory. Is he a glorious man? Yeah, twin flames. Got all of them. Them and all their problems. That's a you problem, not mine. I deal with my mommy and daddy issues as they come up. Thank you very much. Where's the bag to this shit? I feel like I don't really need to go any deeper. They're just getting worse. Let's go into the last one here. Because they're the new ones. We're going in order. Oh, God. This doesn't get any better. Cerberus. Well, we went from the 7-headed serpent to the 3-headed dog. I don't know where I did with the bag to these cards. I really don't see it. This one has cards. This one has cards. I don't know where. Oh, it's on the floor. Okay. Let's read it, and we're going to end on this one. All right, here we go. Guardians. Develop strong and healthy boundaries. You should respect the boundaries of others. Not all places or people are for you or should be available to you. Exercise and expect loyalty. What did I say? I didn't say shit, dude. Really, it's what God said. I'm just a tool of this bullshit. But it's like I felt it and it worked through me. And you know what I mean? Again, I'll upload the video again after I upload this one. I'll upload it as, I don't know, it'll be referenced. I'll try to put it in here after I do it all. But it's basically that is like you need to become aware, and that's exactly what they said would happen when Venus retrograded, is we're going to become aware of our relationships. In the sense of, why are we letting these people have access to us? Duality, guardianship and abandonment, loyalty and disloyalty. At the gates of the underworld, there lies a huge hound. His yawns hit 3 yawns for the 3 massive heads. The hound sniffs the air and turns languidly to see his master, Hades, walking towards him. The hound rises and stretches happily, rubs each of his 3 heads on his beloved master's body. His spiked tail wags. Hades pats the head of the guardian at the gates, knowing that all is well. Cerberus is watching. This is a saying that we don't serve dogs. And I, for one, believe that this is fine truth, even if we are speaking of the hound of Hades, a hellhound. Cerberus is possibly one of the most written about dogs of any ancient world that appears in many stories, not just featuring his master Hades, but the Greek heroes. He is a dog with a job. He guards the gateway to the underworld and ensures that none of the dead leave the realm. The most well-known myth about Cerberus is the story of him being taken from Hades by the hero Hercules as part of his 12 labors. Hercules killed his own wife and children after being made temporarily insane by the goddess Hera. Did you know that? After visiting the temple, okay, again, Hera, there's a great one. Okay, anyways, the female put chaos upon him, and what came? Death and destruction. He killed his wife and his 12 children. After visiting the temple of Apollo at Delphi to try to work out how to make amends, Apollo instructed him to go to the king of Messenia and serve him for a decade. The king hates Hercules and wants him dead, so he set 12 increasingly impossible tasks for Hercules to complete. That was same as Baba Yaga. After Hercules is successful on the 11th labor, the king decides to set him the task of bringing back the hound of Hades to him as the 12th labor. Hercules has Hermes, a psychopomp, that is, a figure who can guide him through the underworld, and Athena to help him. Hercules enters the underworld at one of the known entrances at Cape something, and proceeds to find Hades. In the earliest myth, Hades and Hercules fight for Cerberus. It is said that Hercules shot an arrow and wounds Hades and subdued the hound with chains, dragging him to the surface. Later myth suggests Hades agreed to Hercules can take Cerberus with him only if he is able to subdue him without a weapon. Hercules wraps the lion's skin around the dog to hold him and then grabs him by each of his heads and squeezes him until he submits. Once at the surface at the temple of Demeter, Cerberus is startled by the sunlight and vomits venom and foam bile all over the flowers at the exit, giving the plants a senite its poisonous nature. He struggles mightily, and Hercules manages to exhibit the hound to people in cities along the way. Hercules is widely criticized for this because of his lack of humility and excessive pride. Finally, Cerberus is presented to the king and the labors deemed successful. Some say Hercules took Cerberus home, but one more popular is the account that, like the good boys, Cerberus found his own way home back to Hades and never left again. The plant is the aconite, and the crystal companion is the obsidian. Wow. Well, it's just confirmation. It's time to let go of those around us. Friendships, you're always letting go. As soon as you grab onto something, you realize you're grabbing onto an old version of yourself and that you need to let this go. And they said that before I got here, and that's why they put me here. You know what I mean? I was not supposed to be tied up with this guy. They didn't want me to him to know where I was moving to. They didn't want me to be dependent off of him. They didn't want me, obviously, to hang out with him anymore. And they showed me why today. In essence, they showed me why before, but I didn't see the red flags. Or I did, and I didn't care. I waited until it was a problem. Going back to, you know what I mean, the supremacy kind of way, just there was a lot of things, and that's it. How much of this is, are you going to take until you can't take it? I can't take it. So then, as I told Russ, sometimes it's just better to be on your own than to be in bad company. You know what I mean? And it's a good thing too, like this place, it's like I can't even have guests. You would have been mean to the people that I call, my neighbors. You would have been mean to my neighbors. That's not called for. These people are like me. And they're actually my blood family in some shape or form. They have the same blood that runs through theirs. So it's like you're hating on my, my extended family. But they're not. I can't, And that's it. It's like all of us are connected. Down to, my hood and all of that. It's like you're not. Just make sure you're fighting for the right cause and you're fighting for the right people and not just because you're just, that's it. That's all I can say about that. That's all I can say about that. Hey, I'll catch you guys later. Work on the shadows. Laters, haters.